Do you think that our lawmakers should prioritize illegal immigrants over American citizens?
Well, what do you mean? You tell me what you mean.
Well, what I mean is, should their policies and their decision making as our leaders help illegal immigrants first before they take care of the welfare of like American citizens? Like, for instance, New York City spent $9 billion on migrant shelters. They stripped down historic hotels and turned them into migrant shelters. That was a policy that didn't really help New Yorkers. It was more about helping, and they destroyed landmarks. You know what I mean? So that's a good example, I think.
You know, let's take what's going on in Minneapolis. What has gone on in Minneapolis? What do you think about that?
They're going after deportable targets. They're going after people who came to this country illegally or overstayed visas or ignored final orders of removal.
I think they're also going after people who kind of are following the rules and showing up for their appointments. And if someone comes in and they're told to do something and they do something, then I don't think we should punish them.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today. It's always good to have the real ones in the building. Shout out to you guys. We've got to take a look at this video from Matt Miller over at Brawl. He's down in DC and he's asking Democrats a very simple question. How do you feel about your party prioritizing illegal immigrants over American citizens? And listen, the mental gymnastics on display is Olympic level, gold medal worthy. You know, watching folks twist themselves into a philosophical pretzel just to defend the party line is absolutely outrageous. Facts don't matter. Logic takes the day off and common sense is nowhere to be found. Now, do me a favor, head over to Brawl. Show Matt some love, subscribe to his channel, and if you want to watch the video without my commentary, for those of you who like to watch the raw footage, the link will be in the description box below. And I'll leave you with this and we'll get into the video. This is straight out of the word. For the time will come when people will not endure sound doctrine, but according to their own desires, they will heap up for themselves teachers having itching ears. That's out of 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. So, in other words, if the truth hurts, people will always look for a lie that feels better. That's the Democratic way. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
By chance last night?
Yeah.
You did? All right, so there's something Trump said that's going viral today when he asked everybody to stand up if they agree that U.S. citizens should be prioritized over illegal immigrants. Almost no Democrats stood up. What were your thoughts about that?
I think that it makes sense. I don't think that one, in the most respectful way, should be prioritized over the other. I think, like, anyone who comes into this country should be treated with respect. I think it was more, I don't think Democrats not standing up meant that they think that U.S. citizens should be disrespected. I think they're just asking for the respect of immigrants.
Do you think that billions of tax dollars should go to illegal immigrants when we have homeless veterans? And do you,
Honestly,
do you
I don't want to get into that.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, run away. That's the problem.
Sure.
That is the problem. You have these liberal women out here who, quote unquote, have this heart just full of empathy until it's at their doorstep. Until it's at their doorstep. And then it's like, oh, no, we can't do that. You can't come here. They can't move into my place. I'm not willing to pay for them. But they want American tax dollars to continue to support these folks. It makes absolutely no sense, man.
He wanted everybody to stand up in the room if they agree that U.S. citizens should come before illegal immigrants. What do you think about that?
I don't think his wording obviously is correct. I think that a lot of immigrants help our economy, and I don't think that U.S. citizens who don't really do anything for our country should necessarily be put before other people who are helping our country.
Do you think that we should be giving billions?
She said that she doesn't think that U.S. citizens should be put before anyone else that is, quote unquote, helping our economy or our country. Last time I checked, U.S. citizens are paying taxes. More times than not, these people actually take from the system. And that's been proven when you look at what's going on in New York, you look at what's going on, in Baltimore, you look what's going on in Chicago, LA, so forth and so on. They actually take more than they give. Let's just keep it real. I don't want to sound like a sexist pig. I really don't. I don't want to sound like a sexist pig, but I think we need to look at who's able to vote. Seriously, maybe we need to raise the age limit to 25, maybe 30. That could help Maybe it should only be families, one vote per family. And if you're not married, nah. And if you don't own property, nah. We got to look at this, man, because these are the people that are causing a lot of the issues in our country because they vote with their feelings, not in a way that actually makes sense for the country.
Billions of dollars to illegal immigrants when we have homeless veterans on the streets or U.S. citizens who are homeless and struggling? Who should get that money first? Who should get the help and support?
I mean, when you word it like that, I mean, it's definitely difficult, but I think that
No, it's
there
not.
is a way to help everyone.
I read about that in the paper.
Yeah, if U.S. citizens should be prioritized over illegal immigrants, what do you think about that, and would you have stood up?
I would not have stood up.
Why not?
He's setting a trap for people. I don't think you can make a blanket statement like that. I think that people are people and we have to look at them individually. I think what he's doing as far as immigrants are concerned is pretty horrible, generally. I mean, I think people have to follow the rules, but some of immigrants have totally followed the rules and they're still being, deported.
Can I ask you, generally speaking,
How are you following the rules when you did something wrong to get here? How?
policies and our tax dollars and resources go to American citizens first or illegal immigrants?
I think there are rules for all of this that everybody needs to follow.
What do you mean?
I mean, there are certain rules that that say what immigrants are allowed to receive and what citizens are allowed to receive. So I think we should follow those.
Follow those rules?
Yeah.
But when it comes to your tax dollars in particular, would you rather help like homeless veterans, for example, first, or illegal immigrants?
Well, Trump's not helping either homeless veterans or illegal immigrants. So,
But what would you rather?
there's so much money in this country. I think that we could probably
We're almost $40 trillion in debt. What is this lady talking about?
help a lot more people than we're helping.
Help everybody.
We can help people. And, there are a lot of people here, like our parents and grandparents who came here looking for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as long as somebody is here and contributing to society and waiting their turn for citizenship, then I think that maybe we can, help as many people as possible.
Can I flip that question around? Do you think that our lawmakers should prioritize illegal immigrants over American citizens?
Well, what do you mean? You tell me what you mean.
Well, what I mean is,
It's a simple question. Simple question. You knew what he was asking.
should their policies and their decision making as our leaders help illegal immigrants first before they take care of the welfare?
We got to stop saying that these people are our leaders. They are our servants. They work for us. That is the problem. A lot of these people get into Congress and they think that they are leaders. They're not. They are there to serve the will of the American people, not the other way around. We don't serve them. They serve us. That's got to change. That language got to change because there are too many people in Congress, in the Senate, that believe that they are our leaders and they can just do whatever they want to do, irregardless of what their constituents may want.
Like American citizens. Like, for instance, New York City spent $9 billion on migrant shelters. They stripped down historic hotels and turned them into migrant shelters. That was a policy that didn't really help New Yorkers. It was more about helping, and they destroyed landmarks. You know what I mean? So that's a good example, I think.
She's about to push. She's about to move the goalposts or change subjects or something along those lines. You can count on it. But listen, because of what happened up in New York, now they're talking about raising property tax upwards of 10%. They're talking about increasing taxes across the board in New York because they have a $5 or $6 billion deficit there right now. It's outrageous. And who do you think's paying this deficit? Who do you think's going to pay for this?
Let's take what's going on in Minneapolis. What has gone on in Minneapolis? What do you think about that?
They're going after deportable targets. They're going after people who came to this country illegally or overstayed visas or ignored final orders of removal.
they're also going after people who kind of are following the rules and showing up for their appointments. And if someone comes in and they're told to do something and they do something, then I don't think we should punish them.
Okay. You know, it's funny, even Obama said that it's not just felons and gang members that are subject to removal, it's people who broke the rules. You know, either we're a nation of laws or we aren't. Those are Obama's words. So do you think that it's different when Trump's doing the same thing effectively?
I think that when this particular government we have right now is doing it, they don't really care about people. They really don't care about the American public, citizens, not citizens, anybody.
Almost no Democrat.
There were almost 60 people on the line during Obama's administration due to illegal immigration activities. There was almost 60. There was crickets. CNN was actually out on raids with ICE back in that day, documenting what was going on. It was Obama that created those cages that they put those kids and families in. It was Obama that did that. These people, I'm telling you, they're just so disingenuous, and their hatred for the current administration, especially their hatred for the president, has them not seeing clearly, unfortunately.
Democrats stood when he said that. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that that's a dishonest framing. I think that unfortunately a lot of Republicans don't view any immigrants, regardless of their legal status, as people. I think that's the dominant worldview in the sort of MAGA sphere. So I completely understand why a lot of the Democrats wouldn't stand for that. I wouldn't stand for that either, because I think the entire premise of the question is dishonest.
Okay. Well, broadly speaking then, do you think that our lawmakers should prioritize U.S. citizens over foreigners or illegal immigrants?
Prioritize in what sense? Could you kind of explain prioritize?
Yeah, when it comes to policy making or allocation of tax resources.
What tax resources are going to illegal immigrants?
Well, there's a lot. You know, some of them get health care through certain loopholes. A lot of them are on welfare programs, federal and state.
Okay, but those aren't tax dollars that are going to, like, specifically to illegal immigrants. If they're like getting them by various loopholes, which again, I would love to see a source for that, and how much money is being spent on that. I think the real issue is how many tax dollars are being spent on ICE. I think if we're going to look at allocation of tax dollars, I think that's one of the first things we should look at.
So you're saying that anybody that receives Medicare, Medicaid, any type of social service assistance, where does this lady think that money comes from? Does she think it just comes out of thin air? Of course, taxpayers are paying for this.
Any country should care about their country first, always. That's how I think.
Would you have stood up if you were in the room?
I don't deal with politics, man.
You don't do? Okay.
Beta.
Would you have stood up if you were in the room?
I would have stood up if I were a Democrat in the room. Absolutely. I think law-abiding citizens have priority over those who are here illegally. They don't have citizenship. So I do think it's a priority.
Why do you think no Democrats stood up? Almost no Democrats stood up when he said that.
I just think they have a tendency to walk in lockstep with one another, and they get punished for speaking out individually. So
if you could give them a message, the ones who didn't stand up to that, what would you tell them?
I would say try to work with the president. Let's try to find common ground as a country. It's a great country. Let's see if we can celebrate it together.
Would I have stood up to the question if citizens should come before immigrants?
Yeah.
I think our citizens are our number one. We should take care of our citizens, is what we should do.
First, before any foreigners or illegal immigrants?
We should take care of ourselves so we can be a healthy nation to help others.
Absolutely.
That's why people come to this great country.
Why do you think the Democrats didn't stand up when he said that?
I don't know about Democrats and Republicans, things like that. I know what is right. I know I love this country, and I've always been a proud Virginian. And when I was a bartender and the military personnel were sitting down with the national anthem coming on, who was right here? I stopped serving every person in the bar. Nobody got a drink while the national anthem was on when I was working. I stood there, I looked at the TV, and I put my hand over my heart. There's no Republican, no Democrat, only American.
Americans, absolutely.
That's a patriot right there. Shout out to that sister. It's really weird because there's countless of tape, footage where Barack Obama, Clinton saying these things. I want you guys to see this, and we're going to get out of here.
Not just hardened felons who are subject to removal, but sometimes families who are just trying to earn a living. And sometimes when I talk to immigration advocates, they wish I could just bypass Congress and change the law myself. But that's not how democracy works. To the undocumented workers, you have to say, look, you've broken the law. You didn't come here the way you were supposed to. So this is not going to be a free ride.
We must continue to do everything we can to strengthen our borders, enforce our laws, and remove illegal aliens from our country. Whether they're innocent or guilty of the crimes they're charged with in court, they're still here illegally, and they should be sent out of the country.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple. People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens.
Democrats support also enforcing laws, current laws, against those who came here illegally.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
With that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Isn't it funny how much these daggone Democrats have changed? I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys supporting what we're doing. Pull up tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 Central Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Come check us out. If it's your first time, let us know in the chat so we can properly welcome you. As always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
We won't stop. I won't quit. Stand for the truth. No counterfeit. Real ones rise. Let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies. Let the